is Voice of Korea.
This is Voice of Korea.
We begin the English language transmission from Pyongyang, the capital of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea.
We now present a mixed chorus, song of General Kim Il-sung. Family chorus, song of General Kim Jong-il. Voice of Korea News Now. The Santa Rita Publishing House of Ecuador brought out respected Kim Jong-un's famous work, Let Us March Forward Dynamically Towards Final Victory, holding higher the banner of Sungun in book form on the 13th. The Syrian Preparatory Committee was formed on the 12th to celebrate the 66th anniversary of the DPRK and the 69th anniversary of the Workers' Party of Korea. The Preparatory Committee decided to hold various celebration and solidarity events on the occasion of the anniversaries. Russian newspapers feature the day of Sungun and the 61st anniversary of the Korean people's victory in the Great Fatherland Liberation War. The newspaper Komsomolskaya Pravda on the 13th printed photographs of the great leader Kim Jong-il inspecting units of the Korean People's Army and edited an article praising the achievements made under its Sungun-based leadership. The veteran number 29, under the title DPRK July 27th, said the Korean Army and the people wrought a miracle of world historical significance by defeating the world's would-be strongest U.S. imperialists for the first time in history under the guidance of the great leader Kim Il-sung. It also exposed that the U.S. imperialists, oblivious of their ignominious defeat in the past Korean War, are frantically conducting aggressive war exercises and bringing the situation of the Korean Peninsula to the brink of war. The websites of the Brazilian Committee for Solidarity with the DPRK and the Nigerian National Committee for the Study of Kim Il-sungism, Kim Jong-ilism, posted special write-ups on the 15th in praise of the achievements of the great leader Kim Il-sung, who liberated Korea with its Sungun leadership on the occasion of the 69th anniversary of Korea's liberation. The Brazilian organization blogged the photograph of Kim Il-sung. A meeting of crewmen of a foreign ship was held at the Wonsan port in Gangwon province on the 22nd to celebrate the 54th anniversary of the great leader Kim Jong-il's start of the Sungun-based revolutionary leadership. The participants laid bouquets before the bronze statues of the great Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il in Wonsan City and paid homage to them. At the meeting attended by the captain and crewmen of the ship Dongfeng 6, speakers praised the achievements of Kim Jong-il, who provided the invincible military power and great army-people unity and led the struggle for defense of socialism and the building of a prosperous nation to victory with his outstanding idea and leadership for more than half a century. The Sungun or Army First politics of Korea is carried forward and developed by respected Kim Jong-un at the new high stage today. They said and stressed that only victory and glory are in store for the Korean Army and the people advancing under his leadership. A letter to Kim Jong-un was adopted at the meeting. A symposium of officials of the Union of Agricultural Workers of Korea and agricultural workers was held at the People's Palace of Culture in Pyongyang on the 22nd on the occasion of the 54th anniversary of the great leader Kim Jong-il's start of the Sungun-based revolutionary leadership. Present there were officials concerned, officials of the Union and agricultural workers. Speakers at the symposium highly praised the great Kim Jong-il as the unrivaled political veteran and the Sungun son of Chuche, who placed the dignity and national power of Kim Il-sung Korea on the highest plane with the Sungun policy and led the building of a thriving socialist nation and the human cause of independence to victory. The undying achievements of Kim Jong-il, who laid a firm foundation for admirably carrying forward to completion the Sungun revolutionary cause of Chuche, started in the Paektu, have enabled the Korean Army and the people to vigorously advance toward a final victory in building a prosperous nation under the leadership of respected Marshal Kim Jong-un, the speakers stressed. A Pyongyang students and school children's Taedong River crossing contest was held on Friday to celebrate the 54th anniversary of the day of Sungun. Present there were more than 1,100 male and female swimmers selected at universities and schools in different districts and counties in the city. After the start meeting was over on the bank of the river Taedong before the Kim Il-sung Square, the river crossing demonstration was given by children of the Changwang Senior Secondary School in Central District and those of the Namsin Primary School in Seungyo District. Then there was a crossing contest. After the contest, prizes and citations were awarded to the excellent teams and swimmers. A forum on investment in the Rasan Economic and Trade Zone of the DPRK took place on the spot on August 19th. Companies, exhibitors and visitors of Russia, China, Italy, Thailand and other countries participating in the 4th Rasan International Trade Exhibition attended the forum and viewed the video on the natural and geographical conditions of the zone and its development situation and future plans. They were also briefed on the legal guarantee for the zone development, regulations on business establishment and management for foreign investors, the situation of foreign companies which have already invested in the zone, the vitalization of tourism, and so on. Then speeches were made by businessmen of different companies who are willing to invest in the zone. Foreign military attaché corps in the DPRK visited the January 8th fishery station of the Korean People's Army on Friday on the occasion of the 54th anniversary of the start of the Sungun-based revolutionary leadership by the great leader Kim Jong-il. Earlier, they looked around the Kosan fruit farm. The delegation of the Institute for Security and Development Policy of Sweden, led by Director Niklas Svanström, visited the Tower of the Tsuchi Idea, the Songdo-won International Children's Camp, the Moonswater Park, and other places. The South Korean internet newspaper Voice of People posted an editorial on the 20th, condemning the political camp for its deceptive acts. It abused the agreement reached again between the ruling and opposition parties on the 19th concerning the institution of the special law on the ferry seawall, still evokes protest of the bereaved families. According to the South Korean internet newspaper Voice of People, the headquarters of the All People Movement for Checking Denationalization of Health Care of South Korea held a press conference in front of the Blue House on the 19th, denouncing the authorities' moves for denationalization of health care. After the press conference, the organization intended to hand a signature paper to the Blue House, but the police prevented them from presenting the paper. The chairman of the Central Standing Committee of the Korean Youth League in Japan, the chairman of the Central Standing Committee of the Union of Korean Writers and Artists in Japan, and the chairman of the Osaka, Aichi, and Miyagi prefectural headquarters of the General Association of Korean Residents in Japan, gave statements to media on the 20th in denunciation of the reckless nuclear war exercises of the U.S. imperialists and the South Korean puppets. The international community strongly denounces the United States and the South Korean war hawks for staging large-scale joint military exercises against the DPRK several times a year in and around the Korean Peninsula. The vice president of the Brazilian Party for Free Motherland said the United States and the South Korean authorities described their military exercises as annual and defensive ones to cover up their provocative and aggressive character, but it is only a wordplay of the United States. The Romanian Party for Socialist Choice and the Nigerian National Committee for the Study of Kim Il-sungism, Kim Jong-ilism on their websites, the Russian newspaper Patriot and the Bulgarian newspaper Iskra in their articles, British progressive organizations in their statements, and the Australia DPRK Association for Friendship and Culture in its bulletin said the purpose of the U.S.-South Korea joint military exercises is to complete the aggressive plan against the DPRK and hinder its economic development. They demanded the United States clearly see the reality and put an immediate end to its hostile policy towards the DPRK and large-scale war exercises. The first 15th issue of the Bulgarian newspaper Novo Rabotnicesko Delo carried an article supporting the just cause of the DPRK. The newspaper said the military measures taken by the DPRK, including the tactical rocket launch, are entirely an exercise of legitimate right to defend the sovereignty of the country and the security of the nation from the U.S. nuclear threat and aggression. It is unpardonable that the UN Security Council overlooks the bellicose aggressive war exercises and nuclear threat of the United States and questions and slanders only the inevitable self-defensive measures of the DPRK to cope with them, the newspaper stressed. The Britain-Korea Friendship Association and the Progressive Organizations of Britain issued a joint statement on the 16th in support of the memorandum of the National Reunification Institute in the DPRK. The Nigerian National Committee for the Study of Kim Il-sungism and Kim Jong-ilism blogged an article on its website on the 15th under the title House Full of Children's Dream, introducing the Songdo-won International Children's Camp. And that's the end of the news read by Kim Hyun-ok. This is Voice of Korea. Here is a female chorus. We entrust our destiny and future to Kim Jong-un. A female duet and Pang Chang of the new song, Oh, the Star of the Night Sky. written by Cha Ho-gun, composed and arranged by Kang Sol-bong, sung by Kim Sol-mi and Ri Oh-kwa, and accompanied by the Moranbong Band.
The new song. Dear listeners, August 25th this year is the 54th anniversary of the start of the Sungun-based revolutionary leadership of the great Kim Jong-il. The day is called the Day of Sungun in Korea. Thanks to that significant day, a historic change has been brought about in the strengthening and development of our revolutionary armed forces.
and accomplishment of the revolutionary cause of Juche, and the sacred history and tradition of the Sungun Revolution of Korea, which was pioneered and has advanced and triumphed with arms, could be steadily carried on. Greeting the day, we read compositions sent by the listeners in the past. In them, we recall the warm voice of the friends praising the great Sungun commander Kim Jong-il for his great feats performed in safeguarding peace of the Korean Peninsula and the world with original Sungun politics. Now you will listen to the article sent by English listener John Douglas in Juche 101 or 2012. Kim Jong-il and Sungun politics. The life of the great leader Kim Jong-il still serves as a great example for the rest of us to follow. Despite facing the twin adversities of pressure to build on the Juche idea and to fight off the imperialist anti-socialist forces seeking to destroy it, dear leader Kim Jong-il, through his words and actions, demonstrated brilliance and wisdom by overcoming both problems with the creation and implementation of the Sungun policy, making him an example for all to follow. Dear leader Kim Jong-il in 1994 succeeded his father, great leader Kim Il-sung, the creator and implementer of the Juche idea, which made the Democratic People's Republic of Korea a great nation that is the envy of the world. Through careful and diligent analysis of the DPRK's situation, he realized that the military was the key to solving his double dilemmas. Sungun policy, the brainchild of dear leader Kim Jong-il, is simply placing the military first, not as an oppressor of the people, as can be seen in imperialist countries, but as a protector of the people and their gains from socialist society. Dear leader Kim Jong-il, in his far-sightedness, realized that further progress under the Juche idea cannot be made unless gains since the establishment of Juche were protected. The segment of society best suited for this task logically was the military. The proof of dear leader Kim Jong-il's foresight was quickly evident during the time of the arduous march when the DPRK was in very precarious position. The military, serving in the lead role of the society, helped prevent economic difficulties and hardships from negatively affecting the minds of the people, ensured that the Juche idea was worth preserving and developing upon. The military assisted in all sectors of the economy and made the circumstances much better for the people, further demonstrating dear leader Kim Jong-il's wisdom. The military's role, however, was not purely economic. Soldiers did double duty by continuing to protect the fatherland at the same time. They guarded the coasts and frontiers of the land in order to prevent imperialist forces bent on the destruction of the Juche idea from taking advantage of the difficulties and hardships to accomplish their fiendish goals through force of arms. In addition, the military went on the offense through expanded and extensive preparations and training in order to improve their ability to ward off such possible attacks in the future. The fact that the Juche idea continues to thrive today is clear indication of the successfulness of the Sungun policy. This success, in turn, indicates that dear leader Kim Jong-il was brilliant and wise. I myself think of him often and admire him for accomplishing such a great victory for socialism. Kim Jong-il, he clearly is my shining star to follow. You have just been listening to an article sent by the English listener John Douglas in Juche 101 or 2012. Thank all of you for attention. Please wait for the next time. Goodbye. You've been listening to our regular program, Listeners Mailbag. This is Voice of Korea. Please enjoy the orchestral music channel. This is the forefront. Solenil Karas Sanderberg Semiltik.
Bring in instrumental music, The Blue Sky Over My Country.
Now you will enjoy the song We Will Never Forget. How many times he crossed the toll pass to defend the country. How many times he visited the Gange to build the paradise. We will never forget the footprints of trials our general printed, sharing a bout of gruel.
conclude the English language service of Voice of Korea from the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. Voice of Korea presents its English language service for a year between 13 and 14 hours UTC, between 15 and 16 hours UTC, between 18 and 19 hours UTC, and between 21 and 22 hours UTC on 13,760 kHz and 15,245 kHz. For North America, between 13 and 14 hours UTC and between 15 and 16 hours UTC on 9,435 kHz and 11,710 kHz. And for Northeast Asia, between 4 and 5 hours UTC and between 6 and 7 hours UTC on 7,220 kHz, 9,445 kHz, and 9,730 kHz. Goodbye, this is Pyongyang.